Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm using the Simple Stories Cider and Donuts collection. This is my third layout with this collection, so if you're interested, do look back through the previous videos to find the other two layouts. So I've decided I'm going to make a vertical layout, and I spotted in the die cuts and the chipboard and the stickers this little banner, so I'm going to use that within this vertical column of embellishments, and the aim is to use it 3 times. I chose the photograph based on potentially what the title was going to be. I found a die cut that was said cozy, and one of the foam stickers says cozy together. So they reminded me of this photograph that was taken just under a year ago, and I thought it would work very well with the colours for this layout. Also, while sorting through the die cuts, I came across quite a few like journaling rectangles that have got phrases on, and there was also a couple of them on the sticker sheet, and I decided I wanted to try and incorporate them too, because they say some cute little things like cozy and comfy, let's snuggle, spice and everything nice, love you. So I thought, actually, if I can get those in as well and the banners, I don't want to overcrowd it. I do think when I finish there's some white space, so actually it's not too overpowering. But I also wanted to use some of the die cuts and stickers that would go really well with those phrases. So for example, with the cozy and comfy one, I wanted to put some of the outdoor clothes. I think there's hats, scarves, gloves, boots, all in this collection. Also with the spice and everything else, and everything nice, there's pies and cake and cups and flasks. And I thought this layout would be really good, as the photo was taken outdoors, to use a combination of those bits and pieces as well, just to get the story across. So I've got one banner there above the photograph, and I'm just looking at an embellishment cluster and the words there. I'm also going to use 2 more below the photo, one above and below the title. So I'm just looking at what other little bits and pieces I can tuck in. There's a flask and a cup there also that I want to add. I'll always go back through all the embellishments nearer the end anyway, I always do. But there's a couple of little gaps I might add some leaves and some flowers into as well when I come to get it all stuck down. So I'm just having a bit more of a rummage, looking for some nice leaf shapes that would go really well, and finish off like the column formation that I've designed so far. I decide that I want to add some mixed media to the background, and I bring in my Tim Holtz stamps. They're by Stampers Anonymous. They're called brush strokes, and I'm going to just use the long thin ones, not the circles. And I want to add ink down the center of the page that will go underneath the column of embellishments. Now this is a trick I learned years ago, which I'm sure I've mentioned before, is if you've got 2 pieces of identical cardstock, leave your embellishments and your photo on one and actually do the mixed media on another. I originally started to stamp with one of the stamps and a paler ink, and I stamped the ink onto a piece of plastic and then I stamped the stamp on there. It was giving me not the best texture, so I give up on that, and then I actually stamp the inks straight on to the stamp. But what I do is I then dab it off onto a piece of paper. The plan is to create a really soft autumnal coloured background, just because there's quite a bit of white space between the embellishments that I've chosen on the right. So I'm using a selection of Oxide inks. I'm stamping them more than once each time I've inked them, just so that I can get some nice soft colours. I've picked antique linen, tea dye, shabby shutters, speckled egg, and I think there's a little bit of rusty hinge there as well. But basically any colours that you have that would go really nice with this collection. I'm sticking with 1 colour per stamp at the minute, just to make it easier, otherwise I'd be cleaning all the time. But I do clean them off in between, and because I've got more colours than I have strips. So I'm just trying to space them out as well, so I don't get too many of the same colour together, and then I'm going to figure out how wide I want to go. I don't want to go too wide. I do want it to be outside of the embellishments. So when it comes to doing mixed media, I'm not the most talented artist, but I'm happy to give it a go. And when it comes to stamping, I don't find that that's not too messy for me. So I'm quite happy to try things out. Now I do bring some inks and I do try them on the piece of paper, and I actually think they're too bright, so they don't actually make it onto the cardstock. And to be honest, if I don't like the cardstock with the ink on it when I've finished, I can either turn it over or I can get another piece of cardstock. I can guarantee you and I have both got more cardstock in our stash. So give it a go, have a play, take the pressure off yourself, and you'll enjoy it. These stamps really help as well. They've got a really nice effect, so they're quite soft anyway, so it makes it easy to make a background like this. And also the inks dry really, really quickly. There's not any water involved with this at all. So, and I always make sure I clean the stamps at the end so that they've got some longevity. So this is the finished background on the left, and there's the layout on the right, and off camera I transfer it over and stick it down using a little bit of foam pads. So I've brought back in all the embellishments. I always like to see if there's any last bits I can add. So there's a little heart there, there's going to be a couple of flowers, maybe some leaves, just tucking in and around the journaling spots and the embellishments, just to continue that outdoor theme. So if you like what you've seen, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got if you leave them in the comments below. Do check out this collection and more at Hey Little Magpie. There's always new collections being added all the time, so do keep checking back. Also, there's a great team. There's a blog and a Facebook group, and we're on IG as well, so loads and loads of inspiration for you out there. So literally I'm just tweaking the last bits. This is one of my favorite times, just to see if there's any other bits that I can use up. As you can see, I've got plenty of collection left, so I definitely will be making more layouts in future weeks. As autumn really happens in the UK, and I'm sure I'm going to get some more photographs, if not of us, of our grand pup, and I'm sure that I will get some more layouts made. So I think I'm pretty much done. There's the final image. I do add the journaling off camera. Here's some close-ups too, so you can see the layers and the inking a little closer up. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And I'm Sheena Rowlands, and I hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.